Hi, welcome to Megan and Devin's wonderful presentation. Now look at your computer. Now back at me. Now look at your computer. And back at me. That's right. Your computer's not me. I'm on Facebook.
Did you know, although there are no statistics on Facebook addiction, therapists say there are people who've crossed the line from social networking to social dysfunction. CNN, 2010.
Do you find yourself on a networking site like Facebook when you have more important things to be done?
It's the first thing I do when I open up Mozilla. So.
Okay. Does it conflict with homework and getting assignments done?
I mean, I still get it done, but not as fast as I want to. I mean, updating my status is more important.
More important than schoolwork?
More important than life.
Okay, why do you think you are so dependent on technology?
I don't know, because I like talking to people, so.
Is it a way to keep connected with friends far away?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm still talking to people in, like, England and New York, so.
Okay. Alright, thank you, 70.
Oh, no problem, that's what I do.
Do you find yourself on a networking site like Facebook when you have more important things to be done?
Yeah, actually, I am always on Facebook. I probably check my Facebook like 10 times a day. I'll start to do my homework and I'll be like, oh, well, let me see what's on Facebook. And then I'll go on and like spend 20 minutes or so on there. And then I'll actually start my homework. And then I'll get bored of doing my homework and then I'll go back on Facebook.
So Facebook has a major impact.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Why do you think you're so dependent on technology and Facebook in general?
I think I'm so dependent on technology just because it makes my life easier in a way. It helps me stay connected with other people and like my mom and everything, especially being away from her. And it's just an easier way to communicate with like everyone.
Well, we're working on our freshman seminar all together. We've linked ourselves through Facebook using the Facebook network feature. So we made it our own Facebook group, which creates a Facebook chat room in which we can all chat to each other using it.
Sending computer links.
Yep, and we can tell each other information, which then we add to our PowerPoint.
Again, technology is amazing.
It is.
Why do you think you're so dependent on technology?
I think it's a sociological thing. Our society says that like technology is new, so we need to use it. So due to the fact that it's all in our face in commercials and in magazines, I think that's part of the reason why I'm so dependent of technology. Just because it's all around us, so I use it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Do you find yourself on a networking site like Facebook when you have more important things to be done?
No, not really. I just recently got a Facebook actually, and I've only checked it about 3 times. I've had it for about a month or 2, so.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
So it doesn't have an impact on you at all, really?
Not really. I've never been one to sit around on the computer or anything. I just like to go out and have fun with my friends and stuff.
Okay. Do you text or make calls a lot?
Yeah. I mean, when I'm at work, I text a lot more than I probably should, but it is what it is.
You're more dependent on texting and making phone calls than actually Facebook?
I would say so, just because like I can just make a quick phone call and then it's over, and if I'm on the computer I usually get distracted and just get led to a completely different thing that I wasn't even trying to do.
Okay, well thank you so much.
Did you know U.S. teens ages 13 to 17 had the highest levels of text messaging in Q2 2008, sending and receiving an average of 1,742 text messages per month. In comparison, teens took part in an average of 231 mobile calls per month during the same time period, the Nielsen Company 2010.
So, do you think you're dependent on technology?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
It's a large part of my job here at the library. I was a former teacher, and it was a large part of that job And of course, everybody gets hung up on emails and all that social networking kind of thing. So yes, I would say.
Okay. Do you like Facebook, or do you have a Facebook?
I have a Facebook page. I do not like Facebook at
Okay.
all. And I've blocked all my feeds from everybody because I don't care when somebody takes a nap or has lunch or whatever. But it has been a fun way to connect with some of my past friends.
Okay.
So in that respect, it has been a fun thing.
Do you find yourself texting and making calls as well? Or?
I don't text.
That's great.
I prefer to use a phone normally, but I don't get around to it. It's a lot easier to do an email or something like that real quickly than to do a phone call.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. So, do you find yourself on a networking site like Facebook when you have more important things to do?
Well, I don't really have Facebook, so that would be a no.
So you don't have a Facebook at all?
Do not have Facebook at all.
Do you want a Facebook, or?
I do not want a Facebook.
And why don't you want a Facebook? Do you?
It just didn't seem like something I wanted to do. My brother has one. It's whatever, but just not for me.
Not for you?
Nope.
So, since you don't have a Facebook, do you find yourself being addicted to texting or making calls more often?
Well, I just got texting about 3 months ago, and I text really slow, so no, I do not text. I call my mom, and that's all I call, so nope.
So, would you say that you're dependent or not dependent on technology?
Not dependent.
Okay, and do you like that? That you're not dependent?
Yeah, because I'm not addicted to something.
So, do you find yourself dependent on technology?
Yes, because my phone is off right now and I feel like I have no life.
Did you know technology usage has turned into a compulsion to dissociate from your real world and go and live in a fantasy world? CNN 2010.
Okay. Why do you think you're so dependent on technology?
Well, it's kind of like the whole theory, if it's there, use it. I mean, why let something that's so great go to waste? I mean, like, if it's there, you might as well take advantage of it. You might as well take advantage of its greatness.
So what do you think of our generation and technology?
I don't know. I think it's cool that we're able to, use what we have and use computers the way we do and for the things that we do, and I don't know, I like it.
Okay. Thank you, Sabrina. Okay, so do you have a Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook page?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you find yourself going on Facebook when you have more important things to be done?
I check it like once a day, so probably not.
Okay, so since you're not addicted to Facebook, do you find yourself texting or making calls more often?
I'm not a big phone guy. I mean, I text with a few people. Like when I'm here, I don't usually have my phone, but when I'm home, like I'll be texting often with people that I like over in campus life, whom I work with. And Rena and I, or Stacy and I, will exchange texts like late afternoon or evenings sometimes about work stuff. Otherwise, other text is just really functional. Like read. I have a Kindle. I don't read books like on my own.
Yeah. What do you think about our generation and technology?
It's changed. You guys are radically different than people 5, even maybe 10 years ago for sure, maybe 5. I think we meaning like the world, is still sort of figuring out what that means, and it's easy to say, oh, it's caused a problem. Like you think in shorter, intense bursts instead of like you don't think in paragraphs the way like we were sort of taught to think. But we only think that's a problem because it's different than us. It's just different, and I think it's the way the world is going to be. So, you guys are sort of always kind of multitasking, really low level, but all 24 hours a day. And I think my generation pretty much didn't learn to do that.
I think because I'm older, perhaps, that texting is not something that most of us do. I email all the time. And I use email much more than I use phone calls.
Okay.
I think I am addicted to technology, but I think it's not necessarily a good thing. And when I got Devin's email, I actually started thinking about In 1993, I went to London by myself for the first time. And of course, no email. Going to London by myself was this really individual and sort of empowering experience because it was just me. And I didn't have those kinds of connections. I went to London last December with my BlackBerry. And of course I was doing Stetson business up until the moment I got on the plane, and kept doing it while I was over there, and talked to friends here. And there are real advantages to that, but I think there's a loss. There is a loss of concentration and sort of being present. But yes, I am addicted, and I'm not giving up my BlackBerry.
What are your thoughts about our generation today with technology?
I think that you guys have great gifts in terms of connectedness. You probably don't. You don't have the same sense of maybe privilege that we did. It was a big deal to be able to call your friends long distance because it cost so much. And I think that those kinds of considerations are gone, so maybe communication is not as special as it used to be. But at the same time, you are connected, and I think that that's powerful.
So as you can see, technology does have an impact, no matter how big or small it may be.
We'd like to give a special thanks to everyone who participated in the making of this video.